Ball comes into Clark.
Maybe you go through Martin like that play they ran a few possessions ago.
Clark is just going to dribble out as much of this as she can, try to wind down and get Iowa the latest shot possible. Shot clock down to 10. Clark, screen up top from Sonano, working on Shaw, driving, floater off the glass, won't go. Rebound taken by Brown.
They needed the timeout.
Brown handling the game clock's not running. Oh my goodness!
They're going to reset it.
They're going to stop.
They stopped the game clock. They shouldn't have stopped it. I don't know what's going to happen here. That's an excellent pass ahead from Jillian Brown, but they stopped the game clock and they shouldn't have stopped it.
Yeah,
now the referee did a great job of recognizing that on the backside. Yeah, it stopped and they shouldn't have stopped it. It froze at 3.9 seconds. So my understanding in this situation is you hand time from the point where the clock was stopped as it shouldn't have been.
Right, I mean, clearly somebody assumed that Northwestern was going to take a timeout.
Yes, and they did not.
And just stop the clock, but they didn't.
Yes.
I mean, credit them for catching Iowa off guard and pushing ahead.
Yeah.
But they fooled Iowa, they fooled the clock operator too.
I would have taken the timeout if I was Northwestern. First of all, that was excellent on-ball defense from Veronica Burton with 4 fouls to contest a shot from Clark. So you see there, it stopped at 3.9.
Yep.
Wow, it stopped for a long time at 3.9. I think well more than 1.8 ran off that clock.
Yep.
So the question to me now is, does it come back to where it stopped and it's Northwestern ball, or is it just, it's over, we're going to overtime? And I'm not sure what the procedure is. I saw it stop when it shouldn't have at some other point this year. I'm struggling to remember the game. It was another college basketball game, and it stopped when it shouldn't have. And it was a Northwestern game. They said that the clock ran out, or no, it was a Bulls game. I remember now.
Okay.
The clock ran. It ran and stopped when it shouldn't have, and Zach Levine got off a half-court shot at the buzzer. They took the shot away now and just said it's the end of the quarter instead. Now, I'm not sure whether that procedure holds at the collegiate level. If it does, I would have to assume it's over, we're heading to overtime, because I think obviously both thought that more than 1.8, which is currently on the clock, ran off that clock while it was stopped. Let's see when it stops.
Run it
so
right
it stops
there,
right
there.
now.
And they're at about the opposite free throw line.
2 dribbles, 3 dribbles, 4 dribbles till it still hasn't restarted. Yeah, I can't imagine that shot gets off. It got off at about 2.2. I don't know. The officials saw it right away. Yeah, I'm going to try to get my phone out and see if I can do that. Let me see if I can time it. Okay, we're going to do it full speed.
Now.
Yeah, I didn't have it open, so that's on me. Let's see if we can get that again. Any chance we can get that again, guys? Really appreciate. Excellent work by our camera people. First of all, we should say to get that shot with the clock in it
and the play both in it. Yeah.
But for now, I mean, it looked full speed to me at least, like more than 2.2 or 2.3 ran off.
I agree.
Now there's no watches out for the officials. No, now there is a stop. I see a stopwatch in the hand of the official on the left-hand side there. So I think we need to see that again. Hopefully you were timing at home and somebody can fact check me. But for now, I mean, we're just going to see. I think they're going to say that they're going to run it and see when the shot got off and just decide from there. And if they do that, it certainly seems like that it would be overtime. I mean, we don't have the time, so.
This is so tough, and one thing I want to see if we can see the replay again is how did the Iowa players react? Did any of them notice the game clock had stopped and pull?
Okay, right, we're going to see this replay now with a clock. So this is what we've been looking for. Excellent work by our folks here. So there's Brown pulling down the rebound. Okay, we're going to see if we can get this going. Again, we have the great camera angle for this. So there's Brown pulling it down. The clock had stopped right about then.
Refs have stepped away from the monitor and trying to figure out what to do here.
I think they have their ruling now, and they're just talking over whether. Yeah, I see the point back, so they're going to talk to both coaches about it now. Bluter are obviously very displeased by this whole state of affairs, but it seems like she's getting good news. So I think the ball might just go back to where it was, and it's Northwestern ball there. I think we're going to get an explanation here from our officials, who have done an excellent job all night. Okay, we are going to overtime. So we see excellent work we got the clock on that replay. You could see it clearly. Time expired before Leah Hartman got the shot off. So they're going to say timekeeper's error. The shot did not get off in time, going to overtime. I think this is absolutely the right call, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell that they grabbed it with, the clock stopped at 3.9.
Yeah.
There were definitely at least about 4 seconds that ran off the clock before that layup.
Exactly. They absolutely got the call right. I think it's clear that this is what it has to be. The only question in our minds really was the rule in this situation, and clearly it is that you time it as though the timer was going.
Right.
It's going to go to overtime. So we will have overtime here at Welsh Shrine Arena. And wow, this game deserves 5 more minutes. Let me just say that.
A little bit of a strange way to get there.
Joe McEwen is displeased, but this is an obvious call.
Right,
and he needs to be careful now. He needs to be careful and not pick up a technical foul, because this is obviously the right call, and you cannot afford to get a technical here.
That's right, and we should be clear. This is not a judgment call. It's a rule.
Not,
it's a rule-based call.
It's a rule, yeah. I mean, people can boo as much as they want, and I respect them booing. It's a home game.
And it's a very, it is confusing. Like, I will fully concede that.
But obviously, to us at least, and to you at home who can see this, the call was correct. And an excellent job, in fact, by the officials to reset it.
So the rare overtime triggered by a game clock error. And like Noah said, we've got 5 more minutes of basketball here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I guess let's take a break and we'll come back with overtime, I guess, right? 5 more minutes. I mean, if you're going anywhere at this point, I don't need to tell you how silly that is. So definitely don't go anywhere.
Northwestern and number 23 Iowa going to overtime here in Evanston. And if you're just tuning in, we had a little bit of an unusual situation at the end of regulation. Here's what happened. Iowa misses a shot. Jillian Brown grabs the rebound, and then look, if you can see in the top right corner, the clock stops with 3.9 seconds to go. There it is. And in that time, Northwestern is able to run down with the clock stopped and get a layup. But the ruling is you have to then run it and simulate it as if the clock had kept running the whole time and play out the play as if that had happened. And because time would have expired had the clock run normally, you have to send it to overtime.